Hello everyone, this is Elliott Wave Cafe. I am your host, The Cowboy, and welcome to another edition of the chart of the day. Today we're going to take a look at a couple of pot stocks, CGC and CRON, and see what's going on in these markets. I think they've been beaten down for quite a long time, and there are signs in here that these downtrends might be near completion. So I wanted to take a look at those. I've been monitoring for a while, and I just wanted to kind of throw the counts in there and see kind of how they look, and I want to show you a couple of structures, and just like always, stop the video, take a look and see what you think you can come up with in CGC. So this is Canopy Growth Corporation, and then we're looking also at CRON, and this one as well has a pretty interesting structure. Now, if you notice in here in CGC, I am missing a little bit of data, or at least my TDA provider, TD Ameritrade provider, it's messing up the data in here, but you can go ahead and find it under Trading View, and you can see in here it's a pretty kind of clean structure starting from 2014 back to 2018 when we found the top, and then we've been kind of in a downtrend since then with this latest rise back in 2021. So if you look at this in here, it's pretty cool because it does look like you're having five-wave formation in here in a pretty good impulse, and then you're having almost like a three-wave setback against this trend. So I don't know what this is kind of telling us, but it does look definitely interesting in terms of a nice three-wave setback against the primary impulsive move. Now, does this mean that, hey, CGC is going to go above 57? It's possible, but there's no indication of anything like that just yet. But I am keeping an eye on it, and we'll look for signs if this is to continue. So if you can see from this lows, I'm counting this as a fifth wave of a wave 1 in a 1, 2, 3 triangle 4, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for a wave 1, then a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4 in here, and then a wave 5. And what prompts me to count it like this is the fact that you're having a triangle in this formation in here. And what this tells me is that if this is a fourth, that's the final move out of the sequence, and that's the fifth wave. So that's the top of a wave 1. Wave 4 is a little bit smaller than 2, but it's totally fine. Is within the accepted, I think, right look in here, and then pushes higher again in another, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for a fifth wave. So I think I think this is totally fine. And now you're getting a three-wave setback in here. Let's jump over and take a look at kind of how this looks, because the reason why I'm doing this is because it's easier to use my kind of the quick tools in the software rather than kind of go into the Trading View, which is a little bit more sloppy when it comes to wave counting. I mean, a motive wave is pretty nice. So what I'm seeing in here, I am seeing cleanly, I think, a three-wave structure where I'm looking at this decline starting from these highs to these lows. Then I'm noticing another push in here in a B wave, and then another large decline into what seems to be an impulsive, possibly C wave. So if that's the case, then I got to go with this as being a very simple A, down here, up in B, and then down in C. And let me just kind of put the top of this move right there. And now, let's see if we have what we need internally inside those waves. And I'm going to go in this impulse. So it's going to go in a wave 1 in here, then A, B, C here for a 2, then a big 3, up in 4, and then down in 5. Now, you can notice in here that this wave 4 penetrates the wave 1 very, very slightly, and it's a break of the rules. But here's what the software tells us. Wave 4 terminates within the range of wave 1. A small degree of overlap, in rare cases, can occur, especially in futures markets, since their extreme leverage can induce short-term price action. Now, this is a pretty liquid market here in the pot stocks, and if you maybe go on a closing basis, this doesn't happen. I'm trying to give this count the benefit of the doubt. I think it looks pretty clean, even if you have a very, very slight degree of overlap in there. So I think I'm going to go with it, because the only other way that I could count this and still, be acceptable is if I'm switching this in a three-wave decline and a flat in a A, B, C. And the way I would do that would be something like this. So this is a wave A, and then I think I would have to go into something more complex in a combination where this is an ABC in here. So you look for a W, then you go in another ABC for an X, and then you come down in another ABC for a Y wave. and that looks something like that, right down in A and in C. So what this does is this makes this in a WXY for the wave A, then you go up in B near the X wave high, and then you're selling lower here in the C wave. So this is the other interpretation. I tend to favor this one rather than the other one, but I guess both could be acceptable. However, the bottom line is that this C wave here starts to be almost equal, if not a bit more than wave A. You can look at this C versus A at about 100% equality. It pushed back into 127 for the C wave, and I am starting to monitor for evidence that this decline here is complete. I mean, you can kind of see, you know, a wave structure in here that could tell you that this is maybe a wave 1, 5, 1, 2, you know, or a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, and 5. So this could be done. Let's just kind of take a quick look and see that 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's third, that's 4, that's 5. And then inside that third wave, we have another impulse, so another 1, 2, and 5. So something like that could make sense. And, you know, you just have, you know, what it looks to be. But just because you can count 5, just like I say in my videos here, it doesn't mean you necessarily, you know, have it complete. This could extend a little bit lower. Maybe there's something I'm missing. So we need to wait to see if this starts to kind of push back up higher, right? So what I would like to see, you know, just like I always do in the setups that I'm watching, I would like to see a move and start to kind of destroy this downtrend that we have back in here, right? Or even if you're kind of doing something like that, you know, if you want to do a 1-2 line, you know, try to kind of get some point of contact. But this kind of has to be broken up, right? And then you're looking for a retracement and then a push, something like that. So there's no evidence yet that this downtrend is fully done. Now, you know, there's early indication here due to discount that you could be running in the final stages, you know, but this market could still drag you along for quite a bit of time. So don't rush it. You know, if one wants to kind of catch these lows, right, you can kind of initiate some positions in here very small and then add on more confirmation, right? And then just kind of be prepared to maybe take some more pain to the downside. That's not, you know, something I necessarily prefer. I would like to see a little bit of a push, but that, you know, hasn't happened yet. But the structure does look pretty clean. I mean, if you look at this, you know, you're almost having equality also in terms of the decline. Let me see how this looks. If I copy this, it's pretty okay. I mean, the C wave, it's a little bit sharper than the decline in terms of the angle of descent in here, right? But it does look, it starts to be something that is, you know, that starts to excite me in kind of what I'm seeing in it. And even if I look back here in trading view, you're approaching the second wave lows in here, right? And then, you know, this starts to be interesting for me. You're having this decline. It looks like a 3 wave in here. So, you know, there is reasons to start to get excited. It is on my radar. But again, I wanted to see a little bit of a push higher. Even if you miss the first, you know, I don't know, 10, 15, 20% to the upside, at least you're getting a confirmation on the price. Then this pullback is probably gonna look like a good buying if this is a moving 5 waves, and then for a push back higher. And maybe this is the target to the upside, the swing, and then you can target this swing higher and so on and so forth. But this is just, you know, one of the ways to kind of look at this decline and just kind of analyze it. But just a beautiful B wave in here to the prior highs. It basically failed in there, and then the market's just kind of hammered to the downside. So I'm going to save this up. I'm not sure what your count is. Let me know in your comments. Don't forget to subscribe to this video too, guys. Okay, I'm going to go over and take a look at CRON, but since what's in the middle here, don't forget to subscribe and like this channel because it's important. I mean, I'm trying to grow it, and you know, we're showing signs in here that things are looking much better. But you know, I just you know, want to get you know, a little bit more views in here. So those algorithms, if you comment and you like, you know, that's going to push this content a little bit higher, and this keeps me motivated. If I see that, you know, I'm getting 70, you know, 80 views, or you know, it's like kind of, come on, you know, because I'm trying to you know, make it worthwhile here. So anyway, A, B, and then down in C. Now, you're looking back at CRON. This is the other one, and this one, it's another one that's interesting. Let me see if I can find it in here. CRON, and this one looks, you know, a little bit similar, right? Similar to CGC. Maybe not such a deep pullback. It does look like, again, a three-wave decline in here. This does look impulsive. I don't know what this mess was. But you can make a five-wave structure out of here. 1, a 2, a 4 in here. A, B, C, D. Maybe a 1, 2. This is 4. I don't know. I think this is a fifth wave. There might be something I'm missing here. Maybe it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still part of a 3. So this is kind of what I meant. So you go... Let me just start again. 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 4 and 5, and then this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's part of that third. That's kind of how I would look at it. Doesn't look too clean, but I think it's fine. So now you go A, B, and then down in C. So let's take a look at this structure in here, and I'm gonna make it just a little bit more kind of squeezed in for right now to kind of see better the proportion. And then you'll go down A, right, and you go up in B and then down in C. Let's do the measurement. Sorry about that. Let's see here, Alt C. So very close to 100% in there as well in terms of equality between wave C and wave A. And now let's look a little bit in the internals here and see if there is something exciting in there. So let's see here. Maybe that's a wave 1, that's a wave 2, and then we have, I think the wave 1 terminates there. So that's 3, 4, and 5, which means that this one pushes back 2, right? And now I'm looking at the 1, 2. This is a flat in 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the wave 1. ABC up in 2. Then you're getting your 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for 3, which is fine. Up in 4, down in 5. So this is pretty nice looking in the A wave decline. This could be a complex correction, ABC. So let's do that as a complex combination. ABC, so that's a W, down in X, and then another here you're going in A, B, and then up in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for C. So that's fine as well. So this is kind of how that looks. So you're having C, that's in there, and then you have another C. Something like that. I think we cleaned it. A, B, and then down in C in here. And now let's see what's going on with this from the high to the low in CRON. Biggest correction is there, so we can look at the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 5. Maybe this fifth wave is still working itself out right there, but it could be kind of near the end of here. Maybe an ending diagonal on this fifth wave. So maybe let it breathe a little bit more. Maybe there's one more low, but it looks like also it's coming toward the end of this move. But just like I've showed you before in CGC, I think it's important that you're starting to see some upside price action in here, followed by a pullback, and then because there'll be plenty of time. It's not like this thing is going to go like that. I don't think so, right? It's probably going to find an impulsive move in here with a little bit of a pullback, and then start to kind of show you that it wants to rally, right? I mean, I've been kind of scanning it, and you could have thought that this was the low, but then you only had a three-wave move, right? If you go in the one-day chart, up here was not that convincing that that's a five-wave decline, and then you sold lower, and you made a new low. So that's why you got to wait for something that looks a little cleaner. And I'll keep an eye on it, but I think this count is pretty cool looking. Let me know what you think of it. You can see it in here as well. It's not as deep, right, as you see it in CGC. So there might be a little bit more room to go, but I'm scanning it. I think it looks good. Now the other one, the last one, it's TLRY, and TLRY, it's kind of messy. All I like in here is this, and I'm not sure, maybe I'm missing data, but all I'm seeing in here is this, A, B, and then up in C, or ABCX, ABC. You can do that as well. Maybe that's a WXY. In terms of it's corrective, right? So it doesn't really matter a whole lot how you split it, and it's a three-wave move, and that's impulsive, that's correction. And then this one, I mean, it's coming back to this B wave already, and it seems to be finding some support back here. It's kind of slowing down. We're having a divergence. You know, I don't trust it a whole lot just yet. And the count is, let's say 1, 2, 4, 5. I don't really like that overlap in there. So guys, I'm still struggling with this one. I tell you the truth, even if I'm quite confident with the counts. I don't have a really good 4, 5. So that's a 2, 4, 5. So 1, 2. Maybe that's a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 4 and 5. It's a little tricky, I must say. Let's see, 1, 2. This is a clean one, and this is a big overlap, right? So I gotta go 1, 2, 1, 2. Now the drop is not that sharp, but so that's 4 and 5. It's kind of lame because then you gotta have this as a 1, 2, and then let's say 10, 5, and then I'm getting. You see what I mean? I think it's this one. It's pretty messy. So if you're going to go A, B, C, but it looks impulsive. It doesn't look, unless this is a leading diagonal in here, you know, 1, 2. So you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do that. Let's decompose this as a leading diagonal. Go and show this channel. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1, down in 2, then 1, 2. It's a big overlap. So 1, 2. See, we might not, it's possible that this formation still has a little bit more to go. You know, but I do like this as a leading better than 1, 2, 1, 2, because that's kind of screws the count up. And, you know, this is a big correction in here. It almost looks like so what if that's a 1, 2, 4, and 5? Let's see if that works. I'm still kind of trying to work with it. Let's see, 1, 2, and 5. That's one way to get a 4 in here. Maybe they're still be trying something like that. Something like that. I'm not trying to call it finished, right? I mean, you can see that it's tricky. And until I see something better, I'm getting a little bit of a divergence here in the RSI, but nothing yet too strong. So listen, the market needs to prove it to me. It needs to really kind of take that high and say, yep, I think we have a pretty good low in there, right? And then look for a pullback. But until then, I know we're still maybe in this downtrend. But I hope this helped. I mean, it's a little bit of a longer one here, almost 20 minutes, where we took a look at CGC, CRON, and TLRY. So all our pot stocks, you know, they've been in a big downtrend. I think they're running towards the end of these corrections. Maybe a little bit more to go, but the bells are kind of ringing in my head here. And they're like, pay attention to these stocks because, you know, there's going to be some rallies coming here. They're going to be interesting. So I'll leave it at that. Again, don't forget to subscribe and like, and give me a thumbs up. Comment something, share it around. Maybe we can push this to, I don't know, 300, 400, 500 views on these videos, guys. But anyway, I'll keep working at it. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate you being here.